You lock your doors, flip the deadbolt, turn off the lights, and assume you're completely safe when your head hits the pillow. You're wrong. The unfortunate reality is that a standard front door lock can be bypassed by an amateur with a $10 bump key in about 12 seconds. And if you are sound asleep, you won't hear a thing until someone is already standing inside your hallway. In my 15 years working as a residential security consultant and vulnerability assessor, I've analyzed hundreds of break-ins. The number one advantage a home intruder has is the element of surprise. They bank on you being completely dead to the world, especially if you live alone. And that's exactly why a rapidly growing number of smart, safety-conscious seniors are taking a perfectly good coffee mug out of their kitchen cabinets and balancing it right on their bedroom or front door handle every single night. I know this sounds completely crazy. You're probably thinking it's just a ridiculous internet myth. But stick with me here, because this is actually a highly effective, zero-cost early warning system that is genuinely keeping people safe. Here is the secret behind why this works so incredibly well. As we get older, our hearing naturally isn't quite what it used to be. Combine that with a deep sleep cycle, a white noise machine, or nighttime medications, and the subtle click of a lock tumbler turning or a door hinge squeaking just isn't enough to wake you up. But it gets worse. Most standard home alarm systems only trigger when a door is fully opened and the magnetic contact is broken. By the time that electronic siren actually goes off, the threat has already crossed your threshold. You have zero reaction time. A ceramic cup or a couple of metal travel mugs balanced on the inside handle of your door changes that entire equation. The absolute second someone on the outside applies pressure and begins to slowly turn that knob, the handle dips. Gravity takes over. The cup drops. And ceramic smashing against a hardwood floor or metal clattering against tile in the dead of night creates a sudden, sharp acoustic shockwave. It is a harsh, unpredictable sound that cuts right through deep sleep and immediately triggers your body's fight or flight response. Now, you are awake, you are alert, and you have those precious extra seconds to grab your phone, secure your interior door, or dial 911. More importantly, it completely destroys the intruder's element of surprise. Burglars are terrified of unexpected noise. 9 times out of 10, the sound of crashing dishware on the other side of a door they haven't even opened yet is enough to make them panic, turn, and run. If realizing how vulnerable your standard deadbolts are is already making you rethink your nighttime routine, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. My goal with this video and this channel is to give you practical, no-nonsense strategies to protect your home without spending thousands of dollars. Now, you might be asking yourself if you can just toss a plastic water cup on the knob and call it a night. Absolutely not. Simply hanging any old cup on a round doorknob actually won't do you any good. There is a specific physics to getting this right, and if you use the wrong material, or if your home has lever-style handles instead of round knobs, the trick will fail completely when you need it most. Let me show you exactly how to rig this setup tonight, so it is guaranteed to drop. Here is where most folks get this completely wrong. You see a life hack online. You grab the nearest red plastic solo cup, you pop it on the door handle, and you think you are protected. You aren't. Think about the acoustics of a plastic cup hitting the floor. It drops, it bounces, it makes a dull, hollow thud. To a sleeping brain, a dull thud sounds exactly like a house pet knocking a book off the coffee table or the ice maker dropping a fresh batch in the kitchen. It does not trigger adrenaline. It does not wake you up. You need sharp, harsh, chaotic noise. Now, your instinct might be to grab a heavy ceramic coffee mug. That is exactly what I advised against in my early days as a security consultant, and here's why. If that ceramic mug falls and shatters on your hardwood or tile floor, You now have a localized minefield of razor-sharp shards between you and your bedroom door. If you need to evacuate quickly in the dark, stepping on broken ceramic is a total disaster. The ultimate, expert-level choice is thin metal. Grab a cheap tin camping cup or a lightweight metal travel mug. When thin metal strikes a hard surface, it doesn't just thud. It clatters, it rings, and it sounds remarkably like a car crash inside a quiet hallway. That is the exact acoustic frequency that shatters deep sleep and sends an intruder running. But let me stop you right there. What happens if your bedroom or front entryway is covered in thick, plush carpet? A metal cup dropping onto a shag rug is going to be completely muffled. The intruder turns the knob, the cup drops into the soft carpet, and they walk right in while you are none the wiser. Here is the secret workaround that travelers and hotel security experts have used for decades. It is called the coin trap. Instead of relying on the cup hitting the floor, you rely on what is inside the cup. Take your metal mug, balance it on the handle, and drop 10 to 15 loose quarters or pennies right into the bottom. When that handle turns and the cup tips, it doesn't matter if it lands on a cloud. Those coins are going to violently spill out, bouncing and striking the metal sides of the cup on their way down. It creates an unmistakable, scattering rattle that cuts through ambient noise, white noise machines, and earplugs. Now, we have to address the actual mechanics of your door, because hardware dictates your strategy. If your home was built recently, or if you live in a senior-friendly, ADA-compliant community, you likely have lever-style door handles. These are incredibly easy to rig. You simply take the metal cup and rest the bottom edge on the very tip of the horizontal lever. The moment the intruder pushes down on the outside handle, the inside lever drops, and the cup slides right off the end. Gravity does all the heavy lifting. But what if you have classic, perfectly round brass or glass doorknobs? Balancing a cup on a slippery sphere is practically impossible. The wind from your AC kicking on will knock it off. The strategy shifts here. Instead of balancing the cup on top, you need a mug with a wide, rigid handle. You hook the handle of the mug over the round doorknob so it hangs freely. Then, you take a heavy metal spoon or a small tin of breath mints, and you balance that object horizontally across the top rim of the hanging mug. When someone outside tries to slowly twist that round knob, the hanging mug is forced to rotate with it. As it tilts, the metal spoon or tin falls off the rim, striking the side of the mug and hitting the floor. It is a makeshift tripwire that requires absolutely no tools, no batteries, and no monthly subscription fee. The psychology of a home invader is simple. They are looking for the path of least resistance. They want a soft target. The absolute last thing they want is to trigger a chaotic, metallic crash before they have even managed to open the door completely. But as brilliant as this trick is for your front door, it leaves a massive, glaring vulnerability in the back of your house. In fact, if you only secure your front door, you are practically rolling out the red carpet for burglars at your patio. The glaring vulnerability I mentioned is sitting right in the back of your house, and it is arguably the most dangerous entry point of all. I am talking about your sliding glass patio door. Here is the terrifying truth about sliding glass doors that lock manufacturers do not want you to know. The factory latches installed on 90% of sliding doors are incredibly weak. An intruder doesn't even need to pick a lock to bypass them. With a flathead screwdriver and a quick, upward jolt, they can simply lift the entire glass panel right off its tracks and slide it open, completely bypassing the locking mechanism. And obviously, balancing a metal cup with quarters on a recessed sliding latch is physically impossible. You need a completely different approach for the back of the house. The absolute most effective, fail-proof method to secure a sliding door costs less than $3 at any local hardware store. You need a solid wooden dowel rod or a thick piece of PVC pipe, cut exactly to the length of your exposed bottom track when the door is fully closed. Drop that rod right into the track every single night. Even if an intruder pops the factory lock, even if they try to lift the door off the rails, that piece of wood creates a hard, physical wedge that makes it mathematically impossible for the door to slide open. It is brute force physics, and it works flawlessly. But there is another critical scenario we have to talk about, and it is where seniors are often the most vulnerable. Travel. Whether you are visiting the grandkids cross-country, staying in an Airbnb, or booking a room at a high-end resort, you are sleeping behind a door that hundreds of strangers have access to. Hotel keycards are notoriously insecure. Master keys are lost, keycard data is easily cloned, and disgruntled former employees often retain access codes. You cannot trust an electronic hotel lock with your safety while you sleep in an unfamiliar city. This is exactly where you pack the metal cup and the coins. When you get to your hotel room, lock the deadbolt, engage the swing bar, and hang your metal travel mug right on the inside handle. In my 15 years of doing security audits, I have investigated dozens of hotel thefts where the victim was asleep in the bed just 10 feet away. The hotel room cup trick acts as your personal, portable security guard. If housekeeping, maintenance, or someone with a cloned keycard tries to turn that handle at 3:00 a.m., that metal cup hits the linoleum entryway. The coins scatter, and you are instantly awake. More importantly, the person trying to sneak in immediately realizes the room is occupied and alert, and they will back out into the hallway and disappear. Security does not have to be complicated, and it certainly does not require you to sign a 5-year contract with a massive alarm company. It is about understanding how intruders think, removing their element of surprise, and using simple, everyday physics to put the advantage back in your hands. If this strategy gave you a light bulb moment, or if you know a friend or family member living alone who needs to hear this, hit the like button and share this video with them right now. Make sure you are subscribed to Smart Senior Secrets, because next week, I am exposing the massive flaw in how most people hide their spare house keys, and exactly where you should be putting yours instead. Stay safe, trust your instincts, and I will see you in the next one.